Mirage and I have been in Shimla for so long now that it feels like a summer home, and we're not the only ones. So many tourists have landed up in Shimla this month that taps in the city have run dry. The acute water shortage means even locals are heading out for weekend breaks. We thought we'd do our bit to conserve water, and have decided to spend our time exploring the region around Shimla. On the way there we find a typical touristy photo op on a yak. No way I'm gonna let this opportunity pass. We're going close by though for a spot of mountain biking. Shimla's residents love riding bikes, and there are some great trails on the hills near Kufri. We're going riding with Ashish Sood, an active member of Hastpa. The Himachal Adventure Sports Training and Promotion Association was set up in 2004 to promote adventure sports in the state. Now, in addition to the MTB Himalaya, the group also organizes the MTB Shimla and a women's only edition of the race.
Did you do the biking session last time you were? Okay, so this is something new. So we promote mountain biking as a core activity throughout this country, and with me I have three of the finest riders in India. This is Ashish Sherpa, Akshit Gaur and Akash Sherpa.
We're meeting them at a camp near Kufri, which is where we're going to lay our hats for the night.
And they will be giving you briefs about mountain
We're
biking.
already late for the briefing.
Ashish, Miraj.
Hi Miraj, how?
Hi, very well. Very well.
Hi Ashish, that's Bunty from our team. He runs
Bunty.
this camp.
Thank you,
the
lovely
beautiful
camp.
Apple Orchard camp.
I'm glad we caught your little briefing.
Oh, you did?
Yeah, of course you did. We're sitting around. Come on, you couldn't have missed us.
Fantastic, fantastic. So guys, we'll do rest of the chatting later. Let's go out and hit the trails before we get back to anything else.
Sounds good. Sounds
Yeah.
good.
Wow, what a blast! Mountain biking is not something I've kept up with in the last few years, but it seems like the muscle memory is still there. I did get extremely tired, even though we didn't do any extended uphill sections on the trails. These competition level kids though, they put our endurance to shame completely. After we finished up, we just dismantled the bikes and put them in the car. The kids though pedaled all the way back up the mountain, and they got there literally minutes after we did.
That was one heck of a ride, Ashish.
Yeah.
I have a feeling I'm going to get up in the morning and my legs are going to talk to me tomorrow morning. Seriously.
Yeah, I think it's a beautiful ride.
But gorgeous,
very
huh?
scenic.
Yeah,
Gorgeous. That where it said Mashobra is 7 kilometers.
Yeah.
That path was something else. Yeah.
Yes, I think once you get onto that trail, I think it's one of the most beautiful sections around Shimla, this whole Mashobra forest.
Right.
It's really beautiful.
I can just imagine if you're good at this, like to go jumping and
Good at it, like him.
I had a good time over there, man. I had a really good
he's
time.
jumping
yeah,
all
I
over
have
the
to
place.
admit, I mean, I have to admit.
Surprising. We didn't think you would be doing all of those things.
I didn't think that either. It was many years since last, but it was very
I would
fun.
have bet against it.
You would have probably gotten good odds too.
Because, when we were like preparing for this, we thought we'll take you to an easy trail where we make sure that everybody could ride and all.
Thank
but
you. Thank you for that.
he's surprised us, I think.
Yeah, even the kids were like, who is this dude? Yeah, you were not there, Mohit. You should have seen this guy. He was doing like wheelies and stoppies and jumps and...
I heard about that.
Yeah, and that cycle is basically now only good for scrap. सब कोई ढीले अंजर पंजर ढीले हो गए
It still rolls.
So we started way back in 2004. We used to go for these outdoor...
Mohit Sood is one of the founding members of Hastpa. He's overseen the group's initiatives, including the hugely popular MTB Himalaya series of races.
So a friend of mine came in from the UK. He was a very good cyclist like you. So,
Boy.
so I took him around. He was like, take me around to the best parts of the state. So I took him around for a week. So once we were back, he told me that you have immense potential for the sport. So and we should like do something for this. And we also understood that this is a very good sport, organic, eco-friendly, and we have the best terrain in the world to do it. So why not do something that promotes it? So this is how it all started. And then a group of friends got together and we formed a society, approached the government, and the government was very helpful at that point of time because we had no resources, nothing, just an idea to take the sport forward. And I think
So it kind of started in this area, like out of all the places in India where you can now, where there is trails now, this is kind of where it started, in all of India basically. That's the oldest.
This is the birthplace of mountain biking in India.
Not even funding.
Is
like,
mountain
they need
biking
land.
Olympics? Is it an Olympic sport?
It is.
Yeah, it is now.
But only cross
Since when?
country.
Last Olympics.
96. It's cross country mountain
Cross
biking.
country mountain
Yes,
biking.
not downhill mountain.
Right.
And we obviously send a team.
India, no.
We don't
No,
send a
we
team at
don't.
all.
No,
We
we
don't
don't have the.
What nonsense? How come we
Really?
don't send a team? We send a team for luge. You know? How can we not send a team for mountain biking? That's what you need. You need one guy to make it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that changes
And
everything.
That changes
Yeah.
everything. And that's what has been happening, And then you need the backing, of course, the monetary backing
Yeah.
to do all of this.
Yeah.
So I don't know if I told you about this, but we took a team to Transalp,
So did you?
the bike Transalp.
Yeah.
Wow.
So three of us
cool.
went. I went with a German friend of mine, and these two guys, Shivan and Devendra, they went. They're the first Indian team to actually go
complete
and ride that
and
race.
Wow.
complete Transalps.
Yeah,
You complete it, huh?
yeah.
Yeah.
And they even got like an attack jersey on one day.
One day they
So
did
were
really
on
well.
podium,
Yeah, they got
'cause
that.
Day one they got like a flat, and also they were quite far behind. Next day they pushed and they were like on the
Which is
podium.
huge. I mean,
Which is huge.
Yeah.
That was the
For them
oldest
as well.
stage race in the world, and
for them as well, because if they do that,
exactly
suddenly you're like, whoa, I can do this.
do this.
Do this.
Instead of
Yeah.
just watching these guys on television and seeing that there's some
Yeah.
other sort of level, suddenly being
exactly.
amongst them and
Amongst
being able
them,
to compete.
being on the
with
same start line,
Yeah.
just to like
It
even
changes
for the
everything.
10 minutes that you're riding with the world champion, then you feel that okay, this is possible.
मैं कर सकता
Possible.
हूँ.
मैं कर
हाँ,
सकता हूँ.
I'm just glad we got here and we managed
Yeah.
to, you know.
Yeah, it was a fun day.
It was a
Yeah,
great
It was
so
awesome.
much fun.
It was
I mean, I
awesome.
was
I
really
think
worried.
he had the most fun.
Yeah.
And the bike he was riding the least fun.
The bike he was riding, I was like, man.
Took a good beating.
No, because we rode
Thank
in
God he
we rode in
came
Bawali.
alive in one piece.
No, we rode in Bawali, and the guys we took the bikes from, they were not real mountain bikes. They were like, you want to go mountain bikes on the mall kind of mountain, and we took them.
Yeah.
And when we gave them back, bro, we gave the deroller back.
They were both broken. They were both broken.
Like we paid a lot of damages, just because he was doing this whole jumping business, and things were falling off the bike. I was like, "अरे आप तो stunt कर रहे थे इस पे?" नहीं, पता नहीं क्या कर रहा था. So today when he started, I'm like, "Damn, dude, what's our budget for this shoot? This thing's going downhill."
Hi,
I'm Miraj. Thank you.
I'm
singers.
Miraj.
This is Johan.
Nice to meet you.
Same here.
Hemant Chatterjee is an artist who lives and paints in Shimla, where he's built himself a striking mansion that reflects his creative sensibilities. Chatterjee is well known as much for his art as for his pedigree. His father, Sanat Kumar Chatterjee, was a well-known painter who moved to Shimla many years back. Today, Him's house is as much a residence and workshop as it is a gallery that showcases one of the finest collections in these hills: paintings, sculptures and installations.
I live in the mountains and I'm a traveler. So, being a traveler, I keep walking and keep loving nature, enjoying nature, the colors of nature, the changing colors of nature. Being an artist, I possess them. I take them inside. And when I come home and sit in the studio, I paint that, like a fragrance. So, if you see these works, this is one of the beautiful cities called Valley of Fragrance, where you can see the water is coming down and settling, the flowers are blooming, and each painting is telling something kind of a trekking story, a travel you can see, you can go and go inside the painting. Each painting you can go inside. Even you see this work, you start your journey from down and you have to track up to the horizon. You can find a way.
To heaven or something.
It's a journey to heaven. It's a journey to heaven.
मुझे तो ये पाताल लग रहा है.
You can say. It's a like, see, the the thing, there's a track. Water makes its own way.
Of course.
So if you can follow that way, it makes civilization.
So you sketch also. This is what is this, charcoal? Is
These
it?
are all charcoal.
This is gorgeous.
This is a
gorgeous.
charcoal.
Like,
this is a charcoal.
how do you sort of, which is your favorite sort of medium? Or rather, what do you like using?
Basically, my favorite is again a charcoal.
It is,
and
right?
If I have to draw, then I use charcoal.
Right.
And if I have to paint, I use oil color. And see, even if you just see from the back,
right,
and just move your camera and see that the big canvas.
Right.
And this big canvas is a huge. The two buffaloes are fighting.
Miraj and I are both art illiterate, but they say art is about emotional recognition. Hopefully our lack of taste won't be completely exposed.
Now I have another gallery.
Right.
Before I just show you that gallery,
right,
I must show you this pencil drawing of my father. This is basically a layout design, or you can say a blueprint of his longest painting. This painting size 11 feet by 100 feet, watercolor on silk.
11 feet by
100 feet.
So 11 feet is what, the ceiling?
This is the ceiling.
Almost the ceiling.
Yeah, almost the ceiling.
And this is about,
this is hardly 75 or 80 feet.
What, this room?
This room.
So, and on silk?
On silk. On silk, watercolor, and this is the pencil drawing of detail. Basically he made with all measurements and the elements he wanted to paint. He took almost 5 years study to what he wanted to paint on the main canvas. So this is the body of Kali and all 12 sons. See the detailed drawings.
That's crazy, yeah. So you have this like rolled up like a scroll?
Yes, yes.
How do you sort of make sure it doesn't sort of...
No, it's good because we are living in Shimla, so we don't have insects. That's the best part.
We don't have insects because silk to kha jati hai na?
Yes.
Nahi hai yahan pe, there are no insects here.
No. That's the best part. Even I have, this is the last one, I have his 3 big scrolls. One is 90 feet by 9 feet, 92 feet by 10 feet, then 100 by 11 feet. The 3 watercolor silk scrolls.
They're all silk.
Yeah, all silks. And one paper that is 75 feet by 5 feet.
Oh, that's
a single
chota
paper.
sa.
Oh, chota sa. Come.
In the third and final chamber of his gallery, hidden away in an underground location, Chatterjee had paintings and other objects bequeathed by Haldar to his father. Among these was Tagore's folding chair. As literary memorabilia goes, this was a rare relic. I thought about Tagore sitting there, penning down haiku, chasing his muse. What a treat! Considering how much Johan and I had walked in Kumaon, it seemed like a crying shame that we hadn't done a spot of real climbing in Shimla. Dhananjay, a trekking and climbing enthusiast we'd met on one of our sorties into town, suggested we go climb Shalli Tibba and even agreed to accompany us. Shalli Tibba is a gorgeous, steeple-like summit accessible by a day trek. Towering at 9,400 feet above sea level, Shalli Tibba provides a magnificent vantage point for a panoramic 360-degree view of the region.
The route was stunning, leading through a pine and cedar forest, and took the better part of the day. After our adventures in Kumaon, especially the climb up to Kaliatop in Munsiari though, both Miraj and I feel like we're equipped to take anything on when it comes to a trek.
So what you studied in Bombay, did you?
For college I was in Delhi University.
Achha.
And then I went to film school in Pune.
Oh, let's take a breather. I'm bushed. Oh man. Oh. Well, if you were still in Bombay, you would not be able to do this, man.
Yeah, I've been here for good 2 years now.
2 years, huh?
And we keep doing this every fortnight.
Wow.
And this is one of the most popular trails around Shimla.
So what you're doing, production here as well? Film production?
That's really, I'm working on a screenplay here. It's a folk tale that I'm trying to invent.
That you're trying to invent?
Yeah, it's something inspired by the folk legends of the mountains. So a bit of cultural history, a bit of natural history.
Well, that's very candid of you. I mean, I've never heard of a folktale being invented before, although I'm pretty sure they are. Okay.
Where are we?
So we're about 30 kilometers from Shimla, and this is about 2,200 meters, and the final destination there, right on top, 2,700 meters.
That doesn't faze us. We've been there, done that, eh, Johan?
Honest, these cliffs looks pretty ominous, man. It looks a lot sharper. And
but that's not the approach. The approach is towards around the hill. So
I doubt we're going to go up these cliffs like that. We're probably going to skirt them on the side. But what? So how far from Shimla did you say we are exactly?
30 kilometers.
30. That's it, huh? It's fantastic if you can get away on a Sunday and do this. Yeah? Huh? What a life.
The one thing that both Johan and I understand well by now is that the harder the climb, the greater the rewards are likely to be, whether it's the views or just the sense of accomplishment. Shalli Tibba was no exception. It was a fine way to cap our adventures in Shimla, which were unfortunately coming to an end. Tomorrow we part ways. Johan is going to head back down to Delhi by road, while I've decided to vegetate in the hills just a wee bit longer.
On the way down from Shimla, I decided to make a pit stop in Solan. I had heard an interesting story about a young engineer here who has started making high-end handcrafted electric guitars. Not exactly what you would expect to find in a small town in Himachal. Yeah, man.
Hi.
Hey, man. How you doing? I've heard about your guitars and your production here. Why don't you show me?
Yeah, come in.
Hemant Sharma is a 30-year-old engineer who decided to try and build the instrument he loves to play. While working for a musical instrument dealer in Chandigarh, Hemant took time off work to try his hand at making an electric guitar. That experiment turned out so well that Hemant moved back to his hometown, Solan, and set up Cathode Guitars.
And then this is our workshop, so like all the wood cut and everything is done here.
This is where all the craftsmanship is made, mostly,
yes.
huh?
So the raw lumber, the outside would be like cut to this size and everything, and then we'd plane it up, clamp it up.
So all your guitars are custom made. The customer decides everything, and you can make basically any or almost everything that they want.
Yes, like basically the setup is like, okay, you want this wood, I want this wood, I want that pickups, I want that hardware. Yeah. So we basically are doing the customization thing for the guitars.
Fully custom guitars, pretty much. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
This is like again Wenge, maple, and then paddock, and this is mahogany added on the sides, and then we put up a top. So this is a different wood. These are different woods. This is a different wood.
Just the look on this, like how the grain and the wood has got so much character. I mean,
yes, and it's like yummy. I know, yummy.
Amazing, huh?
Yes.
And then on this guitar, you have like the frets are going like.
Yes, in India, these are like basically a fan fret guitar. So they basically work on 2 scale lengths. So this is like 25.5 here and then 27 on the upper frets.
Right.
So this is like more for like a proper playing. Like you don't have to force your hand for like doing this. You'll be playing like with the frets and everything.
3 years later, Cathode has made over 50 high-end handcrafted custom guitars for people from all over the country. Cathode guitars are entirely handcrafted from different wood types, depending on individual playing and sound preferences.
This is like a paint room, and what we're doing is like, okay, so this is again like tiger maple. So this is like bought from US again. And it's like, okay,
just like the texture on like how it just runs to the sides like that, these lines.
Yes, this is basically the wood name is like tiger maple.
Right.
So
just
the
like
stripes,
the stripes of the tiger,
stripes of the tiger. So this is like we're doing wood textures. So this is like purely wood, and we put a coat on like wood, and then we have these whites and all. And yes, one more thing, this guitar we are building for US. So this would be going to US.
This is a US export.
Yes, this would be going for like USA. This is again like bass guitar.
What is this bit here?
This was a ball kind of a thing. We filled it up, and this glows in dark.
No way.
Yes, this glows in dark.
Oh, that is so cool. So you have like 2 giant patches that just glows in the dark. Yeah? Oh, that is so cool. I really like these things when you have these different the different kinds
and
of
this
wood.
is like, this is not only for looks, this adds to the tone of the guitar basically.
Oh really?
Yeah, because this maple is considered to be like a brighter wood, and Wenge is comparative, like a warmer wood. So this totally clamped together would like balance your tone of guitar.
Right. These are bona fide bespoke instruments, and they're made in a workshop in Solan. Amazing. Shubhank Sharma is an independent artist who's got the only slide guitar Yaman has ever built. Yaman and Shubhank Sharma were heading to a place called Cafe Xanadu to jam and asked me to come along.
रास्तों की कमी नहीं यहाँ मन सिले भी बेशुमार हैं तो आ चल चले किसी और ठिकाने पे हम.
As it turned out, it's not really a cafe in the regular sense of the word. Thankfully, they've got a few tents set up, and I figured that my last night on this trip might as well be spent camping.